Hello, welcome back to Veg Plot, and those snapdragons looking lovely. Right, we're up on the allotment today. We've got quite a lot to do. We've got some garlic to dig up because it's went really rusty this year. So about a week or so ago, I did something slightly crazy to it, and I'll show you that in a moment. But yeah, I've come to check other stuff as well. It looks like we've still got a few more of these lovely red globe artichokes or purple globe artichokes to harvest. So I might have that one off today. We've got the courgettes. These are limona. Looks like they need to get their roots down. It's not looking so good at the moment. All the onions are looking okay, and the leeks I put in the other day are doing okay. But we've got some issues with the sweet corn, and I don't know if you've had this, but up until recently it was all kind of yellow. And I saw something by Charles Dowding the other day, and he was saying that the yellow isn't due to nutrient deficiency. Well, it isn't directly. It's due to the fact that the ground's so cold that the roots can't take up the nutrients, and so they go quite yellow. But as soon as things warm up, providing everything's still okay, then they start going green, which is what mine have done at last, which is nice to see. Looks like some of them have been hit by the wind, so I've put in a couple of little canes and I've got to tie these up. But yeah, overall, I think the sweet corn's looking all right at the moment. So that's good. The rest of the allotment's coming along fine. We've got the French beans, they're doing all right. Did you know runner beans are, I don't know if they're perpetual, but if you leave them in, if you just cut them down and they survive the winter, then they come back next year. So yeah, these are my runner beans. So I've got to put some canes in for these. I didn't think they'd make it, but they have. And this is the garlic. We've got pink Germador and white Casablanca to have out here. And then here, these are the leeks going to flower. Isn't that a lovely flower head? Well, some of them taller than I am, so got to be around just over 6 foot, some of these. So I'm just letting them go to seed, and then once they've done that and the insects have enjoyed them, I shall take them out, and then hopefully we can get something into that bed. But yeah, right, let's get on and harvest this garlic. I've got this bag I want to do first, and then we've got pink Germador here. And as I say, I cut the tops off, and I'm not sure if that would have done any harm, but I think the rust may have affected the size of the tubers and the bulbs this year, so who knows. Anyway, let's get them out of the ground and see what they're like. Well, that's that bed dug up, and really and truly not the best garlic year ever. I think we had a lot of very cold, damp weather, but yeah, some are okay. Let's have a look at this one over here. I've cleaned some of them off because I'm going to let them dry out now, but yeah, not too bad. This is a pink Germador. You can see this lovely colouring on the top, like a purpley pink colour. So some are okay, but some are pretty piddling, so not too bad. And the white Casablanca, again, the same. I haven't cleaned these off, but yeah, they're not the biggest I've ever grown. So anyway, let's go and look at the other bed, get them up, see if they're any better. Well, not as big as in previous years. They're not too bad. Some of them are okay. These are the white Casablanca. But yeah, not the biggest I've grown, certainly, that's for sure. But I think all in all, we've got about 124 bulbs, so that's all good. There's going to be plenty of garlic there for the whole winter season, and that's fine. And I might even manage to grow some from it next year, although I might try and get some fresh bulbs next year, cloves, because yeah, because of all the rust we've had. And I've also got to make sure that I don't plant in these beds again, because I think the rust can last in the beds, 2 to 4 years, I think. So all the spores will be in the soil now, so I've got to make sure you practice the crop rotation and not put garlic in here again next year. Right, so I'm going to get these all cleaned off, put in the sun to dry out, and then we've got to prepare these beds because we've got these lovely cabbages and cauliflowers to go in. These are Seoul. These are a white sort of lovely cauliflower, so looking forward to getting them in and trying to see if they do better than the all year round that I did last year. And then these are Virtus. These are cabbage Virtus, so they're a lovely wrinkly sort of leaf cabbage. And then we've got some more Cabeza Negra here, which we've grown before in previous years. So let's get these done, get this bed sorted, and then yeah, get on and plant them. I'm just using these steel road pins as always not too expensive. You can just get them off Amazon or eBay or somewhere, and they're just steel, so they do rust a little, but not too bad. But basically it means you can put the hoops over, and without using canes and things like that, or you don't need to have little hoops on the side of the bed, and you can reuse them obviously probably for a lifetime. And it means that the canes and things don't snap off inside the hoops, which is what used to happen before I used these. There we go. And then these are really sturdy in the ground, and then the hoops don't bend or snap, the canes don't snap. Right, just get the hoops out of the shed. These are just standard polyurethane water pipe hoops. Yeah, and then we just slide them over these road pins, and then hold them nicely in place. Right, let's put that there, and yeah, you just take the end of your hoop, slide it over the road pin, and that side, and you're done. A really high hoop, which should be good, hopefully, for the cauliflowers. And there we have it. Now just need to put some canes across the top and get the netting on. Right, there we have it, all the caned up. Right, let's go and get the netting. This netting, if you're interested, is black scaffold netting. Again, I think I got it off Amazon. It's quite good because it's quite fine hold. The netting is very fine, so it means that no butterflies and moths can get through it, which unlike some of the other nettings, you get quite big holes. So yeah, I really like this stuff. There we are, just get some bricks to hold it down on the side so we can stretch into position, and then we should be done. And all this does, this just helps me know that everything will fit. The netting will fit in the bed, otherwise it would be a nightmare. Right, okay, so we just slide this off then, and we can plant these lovely cauliflowers up. So I haven't grown this type of cauliflower before. I mean, last year I grew one, you know, real disaster really. I think they were called all year round. Unless I'm muddling up with something else. I'll put it on the screen if I am, but yeah, they weren't a success for me. So I've gone with some nice F1s this year. They're really nice plants at the moment, but I am going to have to cover them in fleece, because I've been hardening them off in the shade at home, but I don't know how much sun and heat they'll take up here at the moment. So underneath this we'll put some fleece over them as well, just to protect them for a week or so, just so they get used to the weather. Right, let's get these in the ground. Yeah, very delicate roots at the moment, but quite wet. I gave them a good soaking before we came up to the allotment today. So I'm just going to dig a hole and give it a good water. That soak in, and then yeah, get these in nice and deep, because like many brassicas, these will like to be very firm in the ground, don't like a lot of wind rock. So firm them in, make sure there's plenty of soil so they don't blow about. I'll make a little well around the edge. I'll probably water it all a bit more, but we'll get all the others done first. Right, that's just getting the last one of them watered. But as you may have noticed, they're beginning to go floppy already. It just shows you, doesn't it, that even though I've been hardening them off for a few days now in the shade, it's not enough for actually yeah, out here in the full sun. And so that's why I brought up some white fleece. Well, that's something here. So this is quite useful. I don't use it an awful lot, but I think in this instance I probably need to. I mean, the great thing about this stuff is that it really is so light. you've not used it before, I'm sure all of you have, but yeah, it's so light it doesn't hurt the plants at all, and it just protects them from the worst of the weather. And you can use it actually to protect them from, you know, butterflies and other creatures and so on as well in the early spring. Right, grab a few of these stones and see how far it stretches. You don't want to pull it too tight, you want to have some give in it so the leaves aren't squashed. Just put these stones on the edges, that should be enough. It's just about perfect, I think. The time of truth. Let's see if this all fits. Right, that's got the netting on and the fleece down, and that's yeah, going to be really pleased with that. What that'll do is it'll help keep the moisture in, keep the wind off a little bit, keep a bit of the sun off, and hopefully they'll give them a chance to harden off out here on the allotment. But yeah, really pleased with how that's come on. Right, I've got to get on to the Virtus and these red cabbages, but yeah, look at that. Really pleased with those garlic coming. They're not as good as they have been before, but we've got plenty there to last through to next year. Right, I'm going to get on with the rest of these. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, and yeah, bye for now.